Ivanka Trump recently reemerged from her low-profile life following her father Donald Trump's presidency, offering insights into her White House years that provide a revealing glimpse into why she chose to step away from the political spotlight. Her commentary, made during an appearance on the Skinny Confidential podcast, reflects on her personal journey, her controversial role in the Trump administration, and her stark assessment of the environment she was part of. Ivanka reflects on privilege and unpreparedness. Ivanka acknowledged the persistent criticism that her achievements were largely attributed to her family's status. She admitted, "That's been true in every phase of my life, from real estate to fashion, and will always be true. I had certain tremendous advantages in my life." This recognition of privilege, rare for a member of the Trump family, was coupled with her confession that she was not initially inclined to join the White House. She revealed her father had specifically asked her and her husband, Jared Kushner, to serve in advisory roles, emphasizing that she approached the position with the humility of knowing what she didn't know. Her admission that she entered the role grossly unqualified resonates with critics who questioned her and Kushner's appointments. Both were seen as emblematic of nepotism in the Trump administration. Despite their lack of experience in governance, the couple wielded significant influence on U.S. policy, raising ethical concerns that persist to this day. Chris Christie's sharp critique. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie has been one of the most vocal critics of the Trump family's entanglement of public service with personal gain. Christie highlighted the $2 billion investment Kushner received from the Saudi government shortly after leaving the White House. "You think it's because he's some kind of investing genius, or because he was sitting next to the President of the United States for 4 years doing favors for the Saudis?" Christie's accusations underscore broader concerns about the Trump family's grift and the ethical murkiness of their dealings during and after their tenure in Washington. A world of darkness and negativity. One of the most striking moments in Ivanka's interview came when she described her time in the White House. She painted a bleak picture, calling it a dark, negative business. "I don't think I saw sunlight for 4 years. There is a darkness to that world. It's a very dark, negative business." These words were particularly revealing. Critics and observers have long described Donald Trump's administration in similar terms, highlighting its polarizing rhetoric, chaotic governance, and toxic political culture. Ivanka's use of phrases like dark and negative echoes the sentiments of many who viewed her father's presidency as a divisive chapter in American history. Exposure therapy and resilience. Ivanka also reflected on the personal toll of being part of the political arena, likening it to a form of exposure therapy. "You almost develop a muscle of resilience, but if you internalize that as real, that's a recipe for disaster." Her comment offers insight into her coping mechanisms while navigating a tumultuous environment. However, for many critics, it highlights the ease with which she could detach herself from the consequences of policies and decisions that affected millions of Americans. Unlike Ivanka, everyday citizens could not afford to dismiss the political reality as a temporary storm. The co-host's irony. Adding to the discussion, the podcast's co-host delivered a monologue critiquing lunatics who yell about negative things. Ironically, his words seem to describe the very essence of Donald Trump's political persona. Trump's presidency was marked by inflammatory rhetoric, personal attacks, and a tendency to amplify divisive voices. Implications for Ivanka's future. Ivanka's comments reveal a woman who has distanced herself from her father's political brand. Her reluctance to participate in his 2024 campaign and her focus on private life suggest she has little interest in revisiting the dark and negative world of politics. Yet, her proximity to power and wealth ensures that her actions will remain under scrutiny. Ultimately, Ivanka's remarks provide a rare and candid glimpse into the inner workings of the Trump White House. While she attempts to frame her departure as a moral choice, critics are likely to see it as an acknowledgement of the untenable and ethically fraught nature of her role. The legacy of her time in Washington and the $2 billion questions surrounding her family's dealings ensures that Ivanka's story is far from over.